Hi everyone, welcome to our channel CSE GURUS. Shravankumarmanthri here. We are going for Hackerrank questions. We are solving it. Now we will see the question which is diagonal difference is over in the previous video. Now we are going for plus minus. So we'll try to solve this question in C, Java and Python. I have given the link in the description. You can open it. So here it is asking, first we'll see the problem statement. Given an array of integers, calculate the ratios of its elements that are positive, negative and 0. So it is asking if you take some set of elements here 1, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 1, count how many are positive numbers, how many are negative, how many are zeros. So here if you observe two positive numbers 1 and 1, two negative numbers minus 1 and minus 1 and 1 0. Now you have to find the ratio of those. That means two positive numbers out of 5, which is 2 by 5, you can see, which is 0.4. Of course negative numbers 2 out of 5, that's why 0.4, but zeros are 1 only out of 5, 0.2. But the constraint is it is given print the decimal value of each fraction on a new line with 6 places after decimal. So 6 places it must be, so that's what it is asking. And here you can see, of course, the outputs you have to print first positive, then negative, and then zeros count. So you should make it int AR of an array of integers which has a parameter, and then you have to print it. No need to return these 3 values. So directly you have to print it. Now here you can see the values are from negative 100 to the positive 100. And now you can see the first output must be the positive values, second output for the negative, and third must be the zeros. Okay, we'll try to solve it. Of course here also it is given an example, sample input. Of course 3, 4 and 1 are positive integers, so that's why totally 3 out of 6, so 3 by 6, which is 0.5. Next two negative numbers 2 by 6, which is 0.3. Of course only 1 0, that's why 1 by 6, which is 0.16, like this it is. So now you can see we'll try to write the code first in C language. So here I have to take you can take the counts. You need 3 counts, right? So positive count p initialized to 0, and negative count I'll take it n initialized to 0, and zeros count z initialized to 0. It's up to you. If you want to take them as a float, absolutely fine, because you need 6 precisions exactly. Float always gives the 6 precisions. It's up to you, but I'll take initial integer. At the end I'll make the typecasting. So now I'll take a variable I also to be declared in order to iterate. So for I starts from 0, I less than the size of the array, which is arr underscore count, I plus plus, just go for it, and each and every value check the condition. If what is the condition? The first one, arr of I, if it is positive number means greater than 0, then count p plus plus, p values to be incremented. Else if it is negative numbers, which is n, of course the arr of I, if it is less than 0, which is the negative numbers, make it n plus plus. Of course if it is not positive, if it is not negative, definitely it's a 0, right? Else it is z plus plus. So like this we have to make it and close the for loop. Once you close it, you have to print all the inputs. Printf first, you have to print all the outputs, like first printf %f. Anyway you need /n to print in the next line the next output. So what is our output? P by what is the total count, right? This is what okay, but you can see clearly here, if I write like this, p is an integer, of course ar underscore is also integer. If you make integer by integer, the answer will be integer. So it will become like, if for our example, if p is 2, count is 5, 2 by 5, which is 0, you will get it. It's not 0.4. How to make it 0.4? Just make typecasting, which means any one of these variables make it float like this. So this is what type conversion, which is also called as explicit type conversion. So if it is one of them is a float, the resultant is also float. So like this it will be integer by integer returns integer, int by float, float, float by int, float, float by float, float, it returns. So similar, I'll write it the next. So it's n by arr underscore count, which is again you have to convert into float. Of course, for the last element, I think there is no need of slash n. There is no next has to be print out. So this is what you have to make three numbers you are printing in the outputs. Of course, here z by, right, divided by. So like this, we have initialized with zeros, then taking each element, checking for the condition for positive, negative and zeros. So finally printing with typecasting in order to get the 6 precisions. So just this part is extra brace. Now run the code. Here the mistake you can see, which we have written in wrong. Now we'll try to get the output. We'll try to run the code. You can see, and of course submit the code. So all the test cases passed here. So now we'll try to write the Java code. This is a C code which we executed. Now try to write the Java code here. We'll make it. So in Java, what we are writing here, you can see here you need to write the code. So we need the variables, but here how to make the 6 operations at least. But here I tried in different ways, but where all the test cases passed, that's what I'm writing here. So where I have to take all the variables in double. So I've taken it as double, where p is equals to 0, comma, n is 0, comma, z is also 0. Go to the iterations for each value you have to take anyway. Of course, one only you can take like this for it's a integer, that's I, which is taken from arr. Iterator I'm using. You can see if I greater than 0, it's p plus plus, else if I less than 0, n plus plus, but else z plus plus, because if it is greater than 0, positive count incremented, less than 0, negative count incremented, if not, zeros count is incremented. Now once you print them, yes, you can print them easily. System.out.println. so print it as it is, like p by the size of the array arr dot size, because one of them p, the answer is double. It's not a problem, you will get it, the output. System.out.println. so like this we have written. Let us see is it correct or not. And of course we have written here everything with the logic, like initialize, then taking each value through iterator, taking the condition, according to that increment the values. Now run the code. Here I have to write it as integer, but I kept the braces. That's a mistake, I think. Now you can see, absolutely fine. Of course you can see here it is crossing the 6 operations, but it is giving the correct answer here. So even if you submit the code, now you can see all the test cases are passed. So all the 11 test cases are passed. This is the code for Java. You can clearly check it out. We'll see the Python code. So here we have to write. So here we'll take 3 variables, p equals to 0, n equals to 0 and z equals to 0 for I in arr. So what is I now? It is the value inside the array. So if I greater than 0, p plus equals to 1, elif, indentation is very most important, elif I less than 0, n plus equals to 1, finally else z plus equals to 1. Now once it is done, once the for loop is done, you want to print. What is the value you have to print? You have to print that p by the size of the array, which is length of ARR. But this you can see it's a floating, but you need to round it to 6. That's why I'll write here round off whatever the value you are getting, how many operations, comma 6. So this is what I follow. Anyway, I'll print this remaining also. Print round off what you have to print, n divided by length of the array, comma 6. Next you have to print round of z divided by length of the array. Yeah, that's what you can see here. Of course here you have to write comma 6. So like this you can make it. You are printing 3, so you are getting p by the value length of ARR, comma 6, and print round of n by divided by length of ARR, comma 6. I think this is has to be closed here. This has to be closed. Yes, this is fine. Let us see is it correct or not. So we have to give it like this. It's once you have to take where after getting the division side by, you have to give how many operations you have to make it. Let us see now. See here p by length. So what is this value to be rounded up to? 6. That's why inside the method you have to write. I forgot to make it like this, so I kept here, which is a mistake. So now you can see the output. Yes, absolutely fine. 6 operations. Yeah, all the test cases passed. You can see. So that's what here you can see how we have written. Just get the initialization for each variable, each count, then get the values incremented when the condition is true, then finally printing it 6 operations you need. That's why comma 6 with the round method. So we are done with plus minus, and we'll see staircase, and also there I'll explain how even generally the patterns are given, how to get the outputs. Also I'll explain all these 3 languages, C, Java and Python, in the next video lecture. Thank you.